Commissioners, your meeting is live.
Good morning. Welcome to November 6th meeting of the Raleigh County Commission. Please stand and join the pledge of allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comments, anyone? Commissioners.
Okay, well, Monday post commission meeting, met with Riley County Health Department Director Diane Creek and Heather Ritchie, supervisor of the CCL department. Discussed some challenges in regards to childcare and other item and relevance here at the health department. Continued challenges coming from the state and just various, not even the government shutdown, just kind of local, to be honest with you. Anyway, but keep working and talking and dialoguing. I think we'll be able to work those things out moving forward. And sounds like maybe there's somewhat of a restructuring maybe going on at some point in time as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure there'll be some more discussion and dialogue on that moving forward. Tuesday, I got an interesting call from Nemaha County Commissioner Joe Dowlings. Had a solid dialogue pertaining to some shared interests of concern on county operations and in particular personnel that's required to accomplish those things. Let's just say no matter how big or small, Kansas County still have a lot of things in common. So I'll leave it at that. Tuesday night, watched the K-State men's opener against UNC Greensboro. Of course, K-State 193-64 after a very sluggish start, but I guess I was thinking about it when you're starting a brand new starting five and you've only got technically four guys from last year's team back. I guess what do you expect? But boy, when they hit the pedal, they really hit the pedal. And the three guys that were in the rotation last year that played looked a lot better than they did last year. So you can tell that from first year to second year, that development went very well. Also, congratulations to the women's team. Easily dispatched University of Omaha 100-35. And the interesting thing is there was a point in time where K-State Sports Online, there was a glitch or something in there, had it listed as 256 to, what was it, 15?
Well,
And everybody was going, is that serious?
the part was it was, but it had the first quarter, then the second half, and the half, they added those together. Exactly. If you look at it, you see they kept adding each totals for each quarter, keep up with it.
The comments on that section, if you get a chance to look at it, was hilarious. But anyway, the true score was 100-35. I guess you might have been able to, maybe play, wave the white flag, whatever. But anyway, good to see both teams starting off good. Maybe we'll have a good basketball season this year. We'll see. Also Tuesday night, while watching basketball, I watched the local election returns. Want to give kudos to the Raleigh County elections team for another job well done. Congratulations to the area election winners. And thanks to all who decided to run this cycle, put themselves out there. As I'm fully aware, campaigning is never easy for these elected offices. So the fact that people were able to put themselves out there and work through the cycle is truly appreciated. Wednesday night, I did make it downtown to check out the Riley County Courthouse, which is lit up in green for Operation Greenlight once again for the fourth year. Was a little disappointed in the fact that the street lights weren't green and on. They're out there, but they weren't on for some reason. So be curious to see. And it was about 7 o'clock, so it wasn't like it was somewhat light, somewhat dark. I mean, it was plenty dark out, so be curious to see what the deal was there. Should probably say thanks to National Association of Counties, Kansas Association of Counties, along with Amazon, as well as the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce's Military Relations Committee, Manhattan, our Public Works for getting green lights put up on the courthouse, and various other local entities for making this a vital success once again for 2025. It's year number 4 for us, and it keeps on kind of growing. And then last, I want to send my thoughts and condolences to the victims affected by Tuesday's UPS plane crash at Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville. I say this because I've had several members work at that facility. Nobody's working there currently, thankfully, but when you see that on TV and you can pinpoint exactly where that went, and exactly where that goes, kind of hits home. So they're still sorting through that. Went through a series of warehouses that were operational at that point in time. Talked to members of that family down there. It's not a real pleasant time down there right now. So I'll be down there in a few weeks for Thanksgiving. So hopefully it's by then. But yeah, hits home. And that's all I've got.
Okay, let's see. Well, Tuesday, I continue to make calls to property owners for easements in the Keats project. Yeah, it is going on forever. Hopefully, and we're slowly getting in touch with some out-of-state owners and those with questions or issues on the properties. I have worked closely with staff and the counselor's office. They've been great to make some progress. I plan to go out and pick up several this evening and touch base with a couple people that have questions. So hopefully, I mean, and look at my map, we're gradually getting, I have pins in. They're gradually coming off, so we're getting there. Wednesday, I attended the military relations luncheon and meeting at the Holiday Inn campus.
They actually have it. I was thought that they might not have had that.
Oh. I don't know. Well, yeah, so anyway, the guest speaker was Brigadier General retired Bill Turner, who's the director of the Kansas Office of Veterans Affairs. And he had a detailed presentation of all the work his office does in supporting veterans, especially foreign wars. They serve about 187,000 veterans and families in Kansas, and have a lot of facilities. So there were also representatives there who do the Operation Santa Claus on base, and they presented their annual program. They take donations of food, toys, and other Christmas items for about 337 families at Fort Riley, mainly for 0 to 14 years of age. Yesterday was really busy. After that, I attended the Westlake Business Association monthly meeting. They did report that in their bewitching Halloween event. They had somewhere between 1,500 to 1,800 kids that came by, and they had 40 tables set up. So it was quite an event. It's getting bigger every year. Then BHS gave a presentation on all the projects they are doing, and a couple they've finished, including the Seco Park project, Aggieville redevelopment. I talked about the hotel and street closures and everything, and pictures of what it's going to be. And they've done the Flint Hills Child Care Incubator. They're going to be building a new retirement community building. Showed a little bit of that, and that's going to start on, I said 12/25, but that's Christmas Day, so I don't doubt it starts. And they're also going to be doing the Wareham Hall renovation, which they have grand opening yesterday. I guess I wasn't able to make it, but. Then another presentation was made on the proposed Yuma Street Cultural Center. I wasn't aware of that. The Black entrepreneurs through the chamber have worked with that, and it's going to be a big center. They're hoping to get a center right down, where the old fraternal organization, the CAW, that one on the corner, it's all boarded up. So they're going to hopefully, that's, I guess, a really quite a historical building. And they're going to make an event center out of it. Yeah, it's down there by the Douglas Center.
That's got an amazing history behind it.
Oh, it does.
Tiger Woods' dad used to hang out there when it was open, when he was here. Jackie Robinson, Joe Lewis,
Yeah,
when they were all stationed at Fort Riley. So there's quite a history behind that.
yeah, there is. I do have a brochure or a little pamphlet on it in my office thing, but it's one. So.
Yeah, I wish them well on that.
So that was a good presentation. They're looking to do fundraising. After a PT session later that afternoon and evening, I attended bell choir practice. And then I also had time to go over today's agenda and documents. So it was a busy day yesterday. Anyway, that's it.
My Tuesday, I missed a few meetings because that was moving day.
Oh,
I survived.
Yeah.
And yesterday I spent trying to find things.
Your wife put a couple of pictures up on Facebook. It looks like you guys were having a lot of.
That would be going on for a while.
Yeah.
You guys we had moving were really great. They were,
Who'd you hire?
that Flint Hills moving.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they did a good job. And the guys were real friendly and helpful, and we'd send them, oh, that goes here, and then, oh, no, then it goes over there. Didn't do that too many times. We had it pretty. But that's been my last 2 days.
Rick business. First item, I have a commission in motion to approve signing memorandum of understanding with the city of Riley to consolidate the current Riley City Fire Department with Riley County Fire District number 1.
Anything we should be aware of or concerned with at this point? No. Okay.
It's a pretty good,
Well, we can't leave the city of Riley without fire services.
so fire district covered city of Riley also already.
We were already.
It was duplicate.
Huh?
The system, actually.
Actually, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were already part of the fire district. They were just still maintaining their volunteer fire department.
Oh, okay. So we're basically consolidating that.
Yeah.
Right.
What are we doing with the building again?
We're gonna lease it back from them for $1 a year type of thing and continue to use the space in that building that the fire department was using previously. RCPD has space in that
Yeah.
building, and then the city still has storage in that building, so all three entities will be using it, but it'll still be a fire building along with the building we have right next to it, which our fire station is right next to the city's building. So,
Okay.
yep,
And it gives us more space, gives us a training room.
right. Yeah, we're gonna gain a
Because you don't have anything in our existing.
right office, but in our current station there, we don't have any kind of a training room or meeting room or anything. In the city building, there is a training/meeting room, and so we'll have that space to do things in, and storage space and space for just equipment in general.
Okay.
Anyone make a motion to approve signing the agreement with the city of Riley to consolidate the current city fire with Riley County Fire District number 1?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve signing the MOU with the city of Riley to consolidate the current Riley City Fire Department with our CFD number 1. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
For like 2. You're not in trouble. It's actually a good thing. It just naturally assumes the worst, don't they? I forgot I got with you while you're here. It's easier.
Commissioners need a motion for ITPIS model.
Okay, it looks, yeah, what we approved before.
carpet. Price, $8 a square foot.
Are we gonna be paying for that downstairs too?
I mean, yeah.
For our remodel,
Yeah.
it's the same price?
But I don't know what the price is. That guy might.
All of it's 25 to 30,000.
Yeah, just for the carpet.
I just think about.
And not the demolition.
Good lord.
You're gonna, recarpet that elevator in there. It's pretty bad.
When we're done, tearing everything up and adding new stuff, with a big,
Yeah. It's pretty randy.
well, that a lot, but you still have another product or two over there.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
That's a good point. Okay. Make a motion to approve the contract with Baker McMillan for $78,805 for the design of the IT GIS remodel project.
Oh, this does.
I would second that one.
These are the doors.
What I do?
Yeah, no, I messed
Oh.
up. You're fine. I was messed up on what I was looking at.
The amount of that's 850.
Yeah, 815. Did I second? Second.
That's a new process. Approve the agreement with Baker McMillan Architects for the design of the IT GIS remodel project in the CPE second floor, the amount of $78,850.
Aye. Yeah, it's Thursday.
We're gonna get all of you an espresso or something. Speed this up a little. Chair, please stop.
Don't do that, please. I could do one with one of those this morning.
I'll take a shot.
Child out there.
Yes.
Hey, I don't make a rent.
Tempted.
We'll probably.
I can come out of the steak and lobster fund. She's got a steak and lobster fund. You didn't know that?
You've got.
Michael already knows that he's one county official. We already told Michael that's what you want.
If you, certain times of the year, if you go from McAllister and steak and lobster.
Get there, get back
So you could solve that problem, so.
I'll send you a card.
I'll be breaking all kinds of our own department policies.
No, don't do all that. We don't need to make a scene.
Next, on the motion for the tax roll corrections.
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the tax roll corrections as presented.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the tax roll corrections as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
Oh, you have a good stack there.
If I know, it's a lot marked off your list this time.
And more coming.
I thought I had a question on this and I can't remember what it was, so maybe it wasn't that important.
Okay, I messed it up.
School district? Okay. I think I know where you're at over there.
It's going too fast.
Thing is, that's on the camera, so
Yeah.
you have to approve.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
They-
Oh,
Mhm.
Do like you did to me last week, so hold on.
Yeah. It's too funny.
we got it, yeah.
We
got it. Okay, there's still some in the car.
Oh, yeah, you just said it yesterday.
I'm just waiting for you to kick that coffee over again.
You need to slide it over.
And you wonder why we have to spend $8 a foot on carpet.
He listens. It's not like you don't have a reputation, so.
Gosh, one time we had.
Next
But
commission.
we don't know where else to bid.
We've got a pool going on, which is when you're gonna do it again, yeah.
We have video proof, so. Next commission need a motion to approve the Riley County action forms for Barbara Craig, election day worker, separation of service, Jacob Clark, county supervisor, health department, separation of service, Anna Zan Brano, new hire, election day worker, Mark Hyman, new hire, volunteer firefighter, and Alex Ramirez, new hire, volunteer firefighter. Nadia Gamble, museum intern, museum department, separation of service, Karen Kurtz, fiscal analyst, health department, separation of service.
On the election day worker, was that for this election or?
That was probably yeah.
Okay.
It was just prior to, actually.
Okay.
October 31st.
I didn't know if that was for this cycle or you're already start for next.
Yeah, they will be too. We've been.
Okay.
Some of our long-term ones, the ones that you see in the advanced voting are going to be retired.
Gotcha.
So time out at one, they give us a lot of years.
Yeah.
Hate to lose them.
And they've actually moved to a constant, they have an evergreen job, it's open all year long, and so as people apply, data and election office just processes through and they communicate the expectation that they can be coming open.
Gotcha.
We recruit for those daily.
So,
It's over sign.
Need motions.
yeah, we'll make a motion that we approve the employee action forms as listed.
I would second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the requested Riley County action forms, all in favor?
Aye.
All sign.
County guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that he'd been in middle school and he was teaching. Some of those study buddy things, I guess. with them.
Mhm. So although not organized, it's you're looking.
Good to be settled in one spot.
That's it.
A mess. That's tough to hate to move.
Well, I went to look last night to look at the meeting on my computer. Couldn't find the cable, couldn't get the batteries died on it, so it has to be plugged in. And I went through everything I thought there. I drove back to Riley, went through everything. So what must have if I came back, oh, there was one box back there.
Oh, no.
There's another pile of town this.
Jeez.
This one.
Oh,
All of you want to attend the policy breakfast on November 20th?
Yes.
Michael, you like to go?
Yeah.
Also,
They have somebody from FIFA World Cup. Where
yeah.
they have it as a practice site. So,
oh, no,
yeah.
Yep. Any changes to the minutes, commissioners?
I didn't have anything.
I didn't see anything.
Motion.
Let's see, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes as presented from the November 3rd, 2025 meeting of the commissioners.
I'll second.
Then moved and seconded to approve the minutes of November 3rd meeting, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And tentative agendas of commissioners.
Aye.
Any items for next week's press conference? Okay, if not, at 9 o'clock, you will have Dr. Matthew Lakey.
Okay, I will be gone. Planes are still flying.
You're gonna be going then?
December 22nd, which is Monday and the 29th. It's a month, 2 Mondays.
Yeah, that's why we're on the subject. I'll be gone Monday, December 1st.
So that's the 22nd. So the planes are still, if they're still.
If the airports are still open.
It's still open, yeah. I'm going out of Kansas City. So.
You're out when, John,
1st,
of December?
correct. You know, it's the 40 major ones, so Kansas City's could be on that, probably is on that list.
I didn't hear it this morning, Kansas City.
They haven't listed them yet, so
Well, I heard it on the radio this morning, a list of them, but I don't know if
I
they.
guess it did come out early.
So, yeah, I heard they're announcing it tomorrow, which ones they're shutting down.
Okay, maybe that was a tentative.
4% canceled currently, 10% maybe soon.
I'm driving.
Well, I know when I was flying out of
Are you trying?
No.
Reagan International coming back last month, there was plenty of TSA, but there were no people mid-morning, that business traffic that usually floats in and out of there. I think it took 10 minutes to get through security. That part was good, but I can't say that that's probably the case now, but.
Sign of people are being hesitant to, environmentalist trapped because they're not there.
Well, there was just, with the government being shut down, nobody's flying in and out, yeah. It was just different.
It'll be pretty close by the time we get up there, I think.
The longest minute.
Yeah.
I have the distinct pleasure of introducing to the Board of County Commissioners a roommate of mine. In August of 1982, when I went to the University of Kansas, you don't get to really pick. It's just kind of blind luck. And probably I was as lucky as anybody in that my roommate was Dr. Matt Layton. Matt Layton at that time. As I said last week, the only thing he learned from me was that there are other scores on the test besides A's. Matt was the A student, but he's really excelled. And last spring, I was having a conversation with Megan Lewis and kind of watched some of Dr. Layton's presentations that he's given. And I thought it really fit in well with some of the things that were going on with recovery court, but also within our community in the mental health. The issues we've had our jail. Monthly, we hear about the issues with the mentally ill being in our jail. The people that are addicted to narcotics, the fatalities that we've had, the overdoses that we've had because of fentanyl. And then the recent problems of the homeless issues we've had with the mentally ill and the drug addiction, the people that are suffering from drug addiction. And so really things kind of came together, and we're very fortunate, in my opinion, to have Dr. Layton, who was willing to travel out here from Washington State University. He flew yesterday. Just a little background, he graduated, he grew up in Coffeyville, Kansas, so he is a Kansas native. Grew up in Coffeyville, graduated from the University of Kansas, then from the University of Kansas Medical Center with not only a degree as a medical doctor, but also he got a PhD in pharmacology in 1993. Completed a residency in psychiatry at University of Washington in Seattle. Did his medical and psychiatric internship there. Some of the notable achievements since he's become a psychiatrist is that he is presently a member of the Judges in Psychiatric Leadership Initiative. Some of the awards that he has won: 2016 Difference Maker, the Spokesman Review, Founding Member Award from the Spokane Police Department from the Frontier Behavioral Health Crisis Intervention Team, 2004 Consumer Research Council of America determined Matt Layton to be one of America's top psychiatrists. He helped found the University of Washington State University Medical Center. They didn't have a medical school there, and if he wants to go into details, I suppose he can tell you how that all came about, but they didn't have enough medical students, graduates in the state of Washington, and so they had Washington, UAW, or University of Washington, but he started Washington State, and medical school was one of the people that was responsible for starting that medical school. But he's got a number. His CV is 19 pages long. 55 journal articles. He's helped either he wrote or co-wrote. He's given 66 presentations and testified as an expert witness in over 35 cases. And with that said, I turn this over to Dr. Matt Layton, who will tell us there is a way, there are answers to some of the problems that we're facing here in Riley County. So with that, Dr. Layton, Matt, thank you.
Aaron, a kind introduction and a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the time. There's a big difference in Washington State between the west side and the east side, between Seattle and Spokane and Pullman. And so growing up in Kansas, my father graduated from pharmacy school in the 1950s, went to school at Dean Smith. My mother went to K-State. My brother went to K-State. One of my sisters went to K-State. I went to KU. So I think it's a fun relationship. And when it comes down to people at the heart of that, everybody needs a chance and everybody needs an opportunity. So what I found when I moved from Seattle to Spokane in 1999 At that time, the 3 county commissioners in Spokane had decided to put the mental health system out for bid and essentially try to, well, give people an opportunity to step up if their agency wanted to help serve people with mental health problems. It was an excellent idea, but what ended up happening was a lot of the system got fragmented, and the result was that we had overflowing emergency departments, overflowing jails, and then the state hospital was overflowing as well. So what we had to do was pull together a blue ribbon commission to try to address that problem. And I think that of that, from that commission, some of the things that came out, you are already doing. So in conversation with Barry last night at dinner, things like the recovery court, things like efforts to address diversion before someone's actually incarcerated, for example. Those things we know work. The challenge is actually getting people the treatment they need upstream from that. And so I have worked a couple of things that I never expected to do. I've been a medical director for 2 different opioid treatment programs, because we have a horrible fentanyl problem in the Northwest. It is still a terrible epidemic, but we're getting more and more people into treatment. And I think this is where there's a lot of controversy sometimes around an abstinence-only model versus a harm reduction model. So some of the things we'll be talking about over the course of the day are, what does it mean to engage somebody in opioid treatment with methadone, for example, or with Suboxone? And a lot of people will say you're just replacing one addiction with another. And what we know is that actually it's a medication treatment for a disorder that has a genetic predisposition. Addiction runs in families, depression runs in families, anxiety, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. And over 60% of the time, they're occurring together now, where you have mental health problems right along with addiction. So someone in that situation may need treatment, case management, therapy, and medications, both for the mental health problem and the addiction. That is costly. And right now, that's what we're finding is if we're not spending the money and investing the money to try to solve these problems, we're paying for it through homelessness and through the jail and in custody deaths. We have had 8 in custody deaths in Spokane County Jail in the last 2 years. And they were all related to either mental health problems or addiction. So what I'm excited about being here today, just even this time that Barry said I get to come in front of you, is to say when we meet today over at the library starting at 9:30, I'm going to be sharing things that we know have some evidence that they work, and the task forces that we have brought together, the people we've brought together, because each community has its own needs and it has its own resources. So even though I have a love for Manhattan, I used to come here with my brother all the time. It's great to be back. I don't know what your current resources are and what your current struggles are. But what happened in Spokane County, that one of the things that came out of this Blue Ribbon Commission 20 years ago was that Washington State had passed a law to allow each county to approve 0.1% sales tax to address substance use and mental health issues. People really didn't think that it was going to pass in Spokane County. It passed 58 to 42%. That revenue stream has been critical in Spokane County to set up things like crisis intervention teams, training the police, sheriff's department. I've worked with them. We actually have mental health workers together with law enforcement and first responders training together, doing simulations, doing things like that, that has actually reduced the injury rate to law enforcement officers and has helped with our overcrowding problem in the jail. So and as well as the state hospital, we're now having more flow. At the same time, our main not-for-profit hospital just closed a 24-bed psych unit for adolescents. So now we're trying to figure out, and with adolescents, this is a huge problem as well. So I'm not coming here to Manhattan, to Riley County to say that we have all the solutions, but we have some solutions, and I'm really excited about engaging with Barry and the community over the course of the day. So thank you very much for this opportunity to just give you an introduction about why I'm here and what we're going to be doing. Is there anything I can do for you?
Good. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
You.
Next, Commissioner Shuttle Henry at 9:15.
I have up until recently and lots of reasons and I appreciate it.
Say, you guys had a tough job. Listening to you. Yes, at least there's a gap. It's covered is almost. So, yeah, I think that you should they weeks long. However, it's better. So I don't know if there's any that makes sense. So I don't see that. Yeah. For the jail. No, I just. It was actually. So there's we promise to get family groups and stuff. I don't know the decisions. Part of that. It's less efficient than like. So I think it's better. Yeah, it's actually the step stage thing. Yeah, it's the same thing as the stages. Yeah, it's too late for this. It's not revolved to your needs, it's present. Yeah. It wasn't about actually these things that the same a little bit that is just removed. So it didn't help with the basically. People come together without conversation. Yes, yes, again, 1:30. That should correct. I tell everybody, here's
Result.
Yeah. It's not.
We're getting there. You know, one of the fees is on the sense of regarding health. You know. This is.
I don't remember that. That large down there was large.
Yeah. Sonic thing, you got little things. On it.
Slater, I knew him pretty well. They used to always, it was open and they had meetings. Like on Juneteenth and different things, they had always barbecue. Yeah, was it? Yeah, it was like it was a church. It's been boring. Those guys are good. They help me.
Yeah. Just curious.
Well, they see.
Some people are cool, some people are.
Yeah, that a lot of cases deeper.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Young legs, if you see.
It's their fear. Oh, no.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Let's start for
Yeah,
young.
we have a reception.
This,
You're free, but you still the same time that he says, well, my shop.
Yeah.
We're worried about giving that living space.
Yeah, take a while.
All right. Go ahead.
Morning, Commissioners. Shiloh Hager, Riley County Treasurer. I'm actually here a little bit earlier than normal. I have to be out of the office next Thursday, so I rushed and got my month-end reports done so you could hear my lovely report today. So, here we are, the beginning of November. My report is for the October revenues. So you can see we ended the month of October with a balance in the general fund of just over $9.5 million. Our total fund balance for the month of October, $68,412,670.04. October is the end of our 2024 tax year, so we made our final distribution, and we will start collecting 2025 taxes here this month. Our year-to-date investment income in the general fund was $1,799,281.97. Of our 2.1 million that we have budgeted for this calendar year, we're at 85% of that. October is 83.33%. So we are right on budget for interest revenue. The ARPA fund, $204,837.08. Our annual percentage yield on the active checking account is 4.2%. And we did our highest investment rate for the month of October was at 3.7%. We are seeing those interest rates are starting to trend down. So just going to keep an eye on that going forward. Our month to date general fund revenue was $1,150,112. What was budgeted for the month of October was 1,062,700, so 8.23% over what we had budgeted for the month of October. You could, as I said, we did our final tax distribution in October, so you can see where we ended up on our tax collections. Motor vehicle came in over budget. Actually, all the motor vehicle came in over budget. Just about 1 million short in ad valorem. Intangibles were over. Watercraft was also under budgeted revenues for this calendar year. I did run an abstract to see where we ended up the year, and we are running at a 2.07% uncollected for 2024. We have some year to date through the month of October, we are still 2.3% over what for our total budgeted revenues. And we have collected 97.95% of total budgeted revenues for 2024. Sales tax, the portion that Riley County gets to retain of the sales tax that we collected for the general sales tax was $224,447.52, about 3% less than this time last year. But year to date, we are sitting at 87.22%, which is 3.89% over what we have budgeted through the month of October.
That home football game really hurt. Going to Ireland.
And then Road and Bridge, the Road and Bridge sales tax, $269,359.93. Year to date, we have collected just over 2.2 million in sales tax for the Road and Bridge projects. Year to date, in our total sales tax collection, 2.51% higher than October of 24. We did see an increase from October's numbers from between October and September's number of 13.62%. This shows the allocation, how those monies come in. Nothing significant to report in there. And then this is the distribution between the small cities or all the cities and what the county gets to retain. You can see here our total sales tax collected for the month of October these were for August sales were 941,000. And then that's how it's all distributed between us and the cities. Any questions about any of that? Okay. Just a few things. Last week, we hosted 30 new county treasurers. The county treasurer's term begins the second week of October. And we hosted 30 new treasurers here to do new treasurer training, just to help them get started off on the right foot. And I think it was very successful. There was a committee of 6 treasurers from across the state that helped put it on. And so I was very proud that we were able to do that. The tax statements are at the printers right now as we speak. So those are scheduled to be mailed out next Monday. We have gone with a new printer for this year that has that offers the ability for citizens to sign up for e-notices. So there'll be some information in the tax statement. They can go on, there's a QR code, they can go in, set up an account, set up that they would like their tax statements to come electronically. And then next year when we run tax statements, if they've checked the box, it won't print a statement. So it'll save us on printing and postage for next year. So I'm really hoping that we'll be able to have a high adoption rate for citizens that choose that option. And it's all controlled by the taxpayer. So we don't have to collect email addresses or any of that information. It's all on them to take care of that. So I'll be hopefully working with Vivian on some information to go out once those statements go out. We're wrapping up the year with motor vehicle. So we've got September is probably one of our biggest months for renewals. We start slowing down, or I meant October. We'll start slowing down with November and December renewals, but then we'll just pick right up with commercial and heavy truck season. This season is going to be a little different with the change in property taxes. How, it's just going to be some things that we're going to have to work through, but we're looking forward to the challenge. Other than that, if there's anything that you need before the end of the year, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here for you. And other than that, if you don't have any other questions for me.
Not a question, but speaking of new treasures, Kathleen Tremont from Gary County wanted me to tell you hi.
Oh,
I know she's a longtime treasurer, now county commissioner.
yep.
She was with us last month in DC for AUSA, so
Okay.
spoke the world of you too, by the way.
Well, thank you. But do you have any other questions or anything I can do for you before next month? All right. Well, thank you very much.
Are you part of a legislative conference to talk about the,
I am.
okay.
Yeah. And just, I don't want to jinx it yet, but we are working on some other legislation. So I'll have hopefully something to report towards the end of the month on that. So.
Thank you, Commissioner. And first at 9:30.
Monday. Once we get done by 9.
Oh, I know. We're gonna pay for it at some point. Just remember.
Yeah. Well, it's starting. Like, next. I think 6 weeks. Christmas and New Year.
I told her she was giving me an old start, but I'll be first.
For you. What's that, fourth? Is it a holiday?
Well, two, and one's I'm trying to do, so.
11 is KC.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Well, no, it's not.
I just.
It's Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
No, it's Thursday.
Oh, you're right. Half a day. Thursday, that's right. They do that symposium thing on Tuesday, and then they're having a 50-year gala or something that I think we'll be okay there. Oh, I need to go grab my opener. I think
Here you go.
It's not good to start. Everyone. The whole front.
Morning, Commissioners. Anna Person with the Appraiser's Office here with the monthly update. I'll just kind of go through this as quickly as I can. On ag use, again, there's roughly 37 sales involving agricultural land, 13 farm home sites have sold to date. They're reviewing, again, the agricultural use and processing changes on property that they didn't return their ag maps and wrapping up those annual review inspections. Our appraisal support team just recertified to the clerk on October 8th. We do this just as kind of a second, somewhat informal certification, just to process all those updates. Again, processing changes to the records as they're received. They're managing our residential work files, which include our annual review, our sales, and our building permits. Reviewing entry for all the field appraisers' work for complete and accurate data and preparing for that legislative change, as Shiloh mentioned in the previous update, pertaining to personal property and assisting with some field data collection as needed. So it's all hands on deck right now, trying to get everything completed on the residential side of things. 830 residential sales to date, with a median sale price of 266,000 and an average sale price of 295,555. Currently, our ratio is sitting roughly at 93%. We continue to prioritize sales inspections this month, along with new construction permits. There are 442 new permits for 2025, which is just leaving a little over 638 active permits for review in the coming months. Annual review and residential and vacant land is largely complete. There was a few lingering inspections that were wrapping up this week and early next. The preliminary residential trend, as I shared last month, is roughly around 4% positive in sale prices between 24 and 25. Our land analysis was completed and submitted to the Property Valuation Division by that November 1st deadline. For commercial, there were 22 commercial exempt sales to date. They've completed the land analysis. They're finalizing quality control, processing tenant interviews that were returned on those income and expense questionnaires that we sent out, and they've begun working on depreciation as well. They've started their vacancy study on various commercial property types. There are roughly 82 permits relating to commercial properties that have already been inspected at least once, and they are assisting the residential team with review of our permits. This is probably one of the bigger areas. You saw a couple of these today. So Manhattan Marketplace for 24 and 25 have all been settled. You didn't get all of them in today's because we're still waiting for the final signatures from the Board of Tax Appeals, but everything in green is coming off. So when you look at that, comparing this list to 3 years ago, we have made significant strides in getting these resolved. So initially, our county value, if you look at all of the properties of Manhattan Marketplace, and the 2 years that were outstanding was roughly $17,070,000 in appraised value. That was being questioned. In the end, total, we ended at about $16,957,290. It's a difference in appraised of $112,710 between all of those properties. So it's a significant win overall. It came down to fee appraisals being submitted in 2025. We had fee appraisals from the beginning. So we're excited to see all of those coming off. So you will have, I think, one more of the Manhattan Marketplaces probably next week. And then once we get the board decision on the 2025, once they sign off on all of those will be coming off too. So really, really excited to see this list dwindle down even further. So, and I thank my commercial team for working on that and looking at that. It's kind of hard to see on here, but there are several of the exemptions that decisions came back on, as Greg, I'm sure your hand is letting you know this morning. That would include the Flint Hills Bed Basket, the Art and Memories Museum, City of Manhattan, several properties involving properties that they own, Manhattan Area Technical College, USD 383, and then I believe
Is the Eureka Drive one's job for?
the Eureka Drive ones are up by the airport. And so they're just, I'm pretty sure it's right by the airport. Right, I think it is. Yeah, they're right by the airport. One of them is the runway extends onto it and they were purchased as
Okay, yeah. Okay.
essentially don't want somebody living right there where the runway is. So there are specific statutes as they pertain to airport, and even if they are agriculturally managing the property, it's keeping that property up. It's important.
In between Eureka and Airport Roads there. Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's two properties right over there that were part of that. Additionally, we did get two new applications from the city of Manhattan for exemption. One was on their Douglas Center and the other was on that parking garage downtown. And so those have been sent off, and my recommendations were submitted, and I'd be happy to discuss that further with you if you have questions pertaining to those. We've received 5 preliminary from Riley County. I've been working with the county counselor's office and reviewing and making sure those documents are complete and ready to go to the board. So once we have the final version from the county counselor's office, we will make the recommendations and send those on. So training, quality control, exemptions. I mean, there's that, as I've shared the last several months, a lot of training going on with a lot of new staff. And so a lot of field data collection. You will see me in the field from time to time, just doing training or just data collecting, just trying to get things caught up. A lot of condos. So what was once an apartment gets turned into a 23-unit condominium or a 12-unit condominium, or what was a 7-building apartment last year gets split off to 7 individual townhomes. And so there's a lot of work that goes into that. Unfortunately, kind of what happens is it gets data collected because they don't file the declaration of those townhomes or the condo. So we have to list it as 7-unit building. And then once that comes through, then we have to break it off onto 7 different parcels, sketch it, all of the things. So it's very time consuming process, but we are working through it and we're getting things done. Last thing I'd like to just share, it's not on here, is our parcel search. It's we've had a meeting with them yesterday. It's looking, we're really excited. We're in the wrapping up stages and finalizing all of the things that and how it should look, how it should function. We've had meetings with Shiloh, Corey, GIS. There's a lot of functionality that the public is going to have that we didn't have before. And so we're really excited to get that rolling out. I will be working with Vivian once we have a final, like this is the date, to try to get some public information out there. It's much more user friendly. You can figure things out pretty easily on how to get through that site. And so we are excited to have that wrapping up. Making sure it's displaying everything it needs to. We're pretty excited about the tax side of it too. It does have a breakout of where their tax dollars are going on that, on the tax tab. So that's really exciting. It's a distribution. So it's a pie chart that shows where their tax dollars are going for that year. And so all things extremely important. Do you have any questions for me at this point? All right, thank you.
Commissioner, you have bill 945.
All right.
Time, right, I really, this, that's fine. I think I'll let you read. This,
Yes, you are correct.
okay.
Or, I'm assuming the 19th, December 2, I'm assuming on that.
I said definitely.
Check and then I'll check with.
Yeah, I know the 15th.
Okay, no, that's for still fine.
Yeah.
Or we need to wait till earlier in the year or something too.
Whatever.
I'll let her know.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's.
Because the.
That's accurate.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like it. No.
I guess I might as well borrow you change the answer. She's saying, we're very.
She's very excited.
She, but I guess you can tell this was very
You know, it's excitement I get, but.
On this, that's what out of the truck, you're saying.
So I just thought it was. That's.
Yeah, yeah.
So this resident of Brooklyn Market, I mean, it's part of the street.
Oh, my. Yeah, but I'm actually it's nothing. Just for more, more, probably, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Joey. Oh, it's really good.
Ready, Commissioner?
Yeah. Okay. Looks like we've got a bid open this morning for some renovations and improvements at Riley County Fire District Station 116. First one I have here is from Bowman Contracting. That's right here in Manhattan. Let's say 15 working days of stuff. There was an addendum number 1 on this. Let's see. Base bid I am showing here. Let's see, wait. There is a bid. Bid price. Okay, they did a little something different there. If I'm seeing this correctly, I'm showing it as 26,921.44. Let's see. Sure that's.
Seems
what I'm
pretty
saying.
low for the whole.
Well, that's what I should too.
Siding, it's just
Oh, it's just a siding,
replacing siding, right?
Right, roof.
And a roof and siding.
siding, okay.
Oh, okay, now I see what they did here. Normally it's that green sheet and it's a little different sheet. Yeah, that is the right base bid. And then the alternate number 1 would be if we wanted to do spray foam, and that would be an extra $10,260. We wanted to go with the bat insulation, that would be $5,940. That would be on top of that. So
They don't give the amount of days on those.
that.
There's no amount of days.
15.
15, okay. Okay.
I'm still here.
No, it was tucked behind the green or something.
Yeah.
Off a little bit.
The, that is bid from Goldman Contracting. Base bid, you know, they do have it.
Yeah. It took me.
Base bid of $26,921.44. Alternate 1, spray foam insulation, $10,260. And bat insulation, $5,940.
Was there an engineer's estimate?
Shut down this.
Okay. I guess I'm just used to high construction prices with this, man.
Luckily, for the whole building.
Well, true, but
Yeah.
even just for siding alone, I mean, I would think that. I'm not gonna
I
complain.
I was gonna say.
I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Complaining about
No, I'm not. The next one's from Riley Construction. This is out of Wamego. There's an addendum on there. Dated October 28th. The number of days just yet. Oh, showing 45 on the number of days. Post start date 2 is shown as March 3rd. They put 2025. I think they meant 26. I hope.
Yeah.
Unless they've got a DeLorean and a flux capacitor or something there. Price I'm seeing on that is $69,869. That's the base bid. Foam insulation would be an extra 10 grand. Bat insulation would be $6,110. As I said, 45 days. Starting what I would think would be March 3rd, 2026, but might have been an oversight. I don't know.
Was there a start on the other one?
Let's see.
Was there what?
Was there a
On
start
the
date?
first one, was there?
I didn't see a start date on the first one.
This is from Riley Construction. Base bid of $69,869. All at one spray foam, 10,000. On two bat insulation, 6,110. In 45 working days.
Well, I would make a motion to refer these bids back to staff for their recommendation.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to for the bids to staff for evaluation and recommendations. All in favor?
Aye.
Infrastructure, another web 10. But.
Oh, yeah. I've seen something online, but I didn't see the pictures of it.
Yeah, they had a good presentation.
Yeah, I would like to see them upgrade and do something with the facility there. It's got a lot of history.
Sitting quite a few years.
Yeah, it's- it's a good idea.
Good morning, Commissioners. Amanda Webb, Planning Director, here with Planning and Development's monthly staff update. Keats, I know we've been talking a lot about Keats. I'm sure Commissioner Foki and Michael and Jacob have kept you informed, but we'll talk about it again because we always like to talk about Keats. Working on the easements, of course. When I wrote this report last week, we still had 11 temporary easements that we're working on and 1 permanent easement. So thank you to Commissioner Foki. Thank you to Jacob. I know you guys have been going out there and really working hard to get in contact with people and get these last easements. So hopefully we'll be getting more rolled in these next few weeks and we'll get that part done. Because just a reminder, of course, as we talked about, we can't go to bid until we have the easements done. Now, Michael and Jacob have been working with USDA to, or at least have put an inquiry in with USDA to see, do we need every single one of them to proceed to bid, or is there something we can do to, know that we're going to get them, but in the meantime, start with the bidding process. But as you folks can imagine, USDA is we're not able to get in touch with them right now. So we don't have that information yet, but just to keep you informed as to what all kinds of folks have been doing to try to get these easements going. So hopefully we'll keep getting those rolling in and have good news and be out to bid before we know it. So based on that, and of course that we have a few unknowns again, and that we don't know through USDA if, there's a certain percentage that we can proceed with. Of course, the schedule could get pushed a little bit based on if we need all of the easements until we can go to bid. So we just don't know yet, unfortunately. So as of right now, we're doing everything we can. Sam and Brian and the team at BG are keeping going, meeting with folks on site, making changes, making sure people have information about the design, about the engineering, all the questions they are asking. Our plans were approved by KDHE. So we have approved plans, the bidding documents, everything's ready to go as soon as we kind of get the green light to do it. So all of that is ready. Plans have been approved. KDHE has checked off on that. So any questions or anything further on Keats? So we're doing everything we can. So
We're getting there.
yes.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
try to work through some channels and see what we could do with USDA, but I can't do anything right now with the shutdown.
Right. And that's our
So,
problem. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when it opens back up, maybe I'll check with my contacts and see if we can,
Yeah, we're getting.
Yeah. Anything.
We got
if we get down to the last half a dozen or so, I gotta think they would let
Yeah.
us go forward.
That's,
We gotta get this
yeah. That's what BG seems to believe, but we want to, of course, have that confirmation from USDA staff if we can before. And you nailed it exactly. We can't. They're not getting back to us because they're not there. So, yeah, but of course, as soon as things, as you said, as soon as things open up, yeah, any contacts we can get would be great.
Remind
So,
me.
okay, thank you. Moving on, comprehensive plan update. We talked about that more earlier this week, so I won't talk too much about it, except just some reminders. Draft comp plan is available on the website right now. I do want to say it's a draft, but it's out there. And I have gotten a few comments from folks so far. So
Positive? No, good.
just informational, just, hey, you know, what maybe you think about this, or, you know, can you clarify that? So I don't know that it's positive or negative, but just good information to think about as we're finalizing things such. Yeah, exactly. Riley County Planning Board will have their work session next Monday evening, and the Manhattan Urban Area Planning Board will have theirs on the 17th, and then we'll have our public hearings in December. We have our community workshop next Wednesday, November 12th, 6 to 8 p.m. at Potterth Hall. Stantec will be there to give a presentation, kind of just an overall you know, of course, what is comprehensive planning? What have we done this whole time, and where we are now, and what we're needing from folks? Again, the draft is available and will be available. So hopefully we're going to get some good input from folks. We'll have ways for people to give us comments there. You know, we'll have, you know, one of those things we can write on, but then we'll also have, you know, sheets for people to, you know, fill out if they want to. And then of course, contact information if they think of something later. So hopefully we'll get some good attendance there. The Rural Economic Development Advisory Board, REDAB, we've lost a couple members, unfortunately. So we are down to, well, one of them will finish out the rest of the year, but starting January, we're officially down 2. So if you folks know of anybody who might be interested, or you think would be a good committee member, please let me know. I can reach out to them, or if you want to send them my way and let them know what we're up to and what we do, and see if they would be interested in joining. Please just let me know. But we're going along fine there. Again, just kind of lost a couple of folks. So another committee, solid waste management. We had our fall meeting just last week, I think. Yes, it was last week, and time's going by. And that went just well. We are going to re-kick off, and you folks have heard me talk about this, it feels like, for years, because I believe it has been years. The battery recycling educational program that we've been working on the last few years. We are going to get another subcommittee going. I'm just kind of needing to kind of re-energize people, get more people involved. David, our chair, has reached out to several civic organizations. I've talked to 4-H. Basically, we want to get those stickers on trash totes out in the community. That's our whole educational campaign. We got that grant from KDHE a couple of years ago to get the stickers. So we're going to get a new group going, have a meeting this year, and be ready to go in spring once it gets a little bit warmer. We have lots of, again, civic groups that are in support and willing to help us out with that. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing it. So, and then we also have all the brochures that we got through that grant program as well. So we're still working with a lot of the trash haulers and other folks to, again, get that information out into our community. So moving on to LEPP, the Local Environmental Protection Program grant. That's a mouthful. We're still waiting for KDHE to do their behind the scenes work. It's taken a little bit longer than even they anticipated. But we have been awarded. I don't know. We did request 50,000, and I believe that's what it's going to be. But until they give me the grant contract, I won't know for sure. And again, they're still doing work behind the scenes. But what they have confirmed is when the funds are ready, when the grant contract is ready, and then the funds are ready to be dispersed, the grant term will change. Because if you remember, it was July 1 to June 30. We're already several months past that. So we have confirmed that it will be reflective of when they're actually ready to disperse those funds, so that we don't lose any time. We'll still have a year to get those funds out into our community. So, and we do have a couple folks that had applied late in the last round we still have available that we can assist them. So as soon as it's released, as soon as it's ready, we'll be able to kind of get that going pretty quick. So just kind of waiting for them on their end. So let's see, the Home in the Heartland grant. We've been meeting with the chamber and the Make My Move people over the last several weeks to get our website put together, to get the information populated. Thank you to the chamber for all the work and information they provided to get that set up. Of course, you folks know you approved the grant contract a couple of weeks ago. I sent it off to the state. For some reason, they're having a really hard time getting it mailed back. I think you've seen those emails. She has my address on there, of course, planning address, and it keeps popping back to her for some reason. And so we're trying to get original copies, of course, for the clerk's office, but it is, of course, officially approved. So and then we're just waiting for that first half disbursement of funds. Commissioner Ford and I are going to meet with Leonardville and Ogden in next week just to see how we can collaborate with them as well. I know they expressed interest in being part of the program. So everything's kind of right now a little bit more behind the scenes with this as we're working to kind of get everything ready and then get it out there for folks to start applying and actually get people moved into our community. Everybody's favorite topic, short-term rentals. This will finally be back before you folks on November 17th to approve or to review and hopefully approve the language that the planning boards have been working on these last several months. We had our public hearing with the Riley County Planning Board on October 20th and Manhattan Urban Area Planning Board on November 3rd. And both are forwarding a recommendation of approval to you folks. And again, you'll hear it on the 17th for hopefully final action. And then lastly, strategic planning. We are working with Shockey. Of course, as you folks know, we had a session at Employee Day where we kind of gave everybody a kind of background and information on what we did, what strategic planning is, what we did, and kind of what we're doing moving forward. For the most part, we got positive feedback on that. I know we had some sound problems, but other than that, most people were appreciative that they were hearing about, they were getting that information. So glad that was useful for most folks. We're working with Shockey on an implementation plan. If you remember, of course, we built into the plan in the contract with Shockey to do a year follow-up, and that's right about now. So they've been working on that plan. So basically that's going to help us track progress. What are all of our goals? How are we going to track them? And then keeping you folks informed. And then of course, just even the general public informed that will be used for those purposes. So that is everything I have. Do you have any questions or for me? Thank you very much.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Should have max up on 10:15.
Shane, all right. See the words that you see. This will be how will be. I just had a really good conversation with Brian and contact over something. Not so much from WTC was all of a sudden it's complicated. It's getting on WTC. Okay, it's only about the yeah. Say it's not a let's do it too. Morning, Commissioners. Michael Hawthorne, Assistant County Counselor. The Counselor's Office continues on some ongoing projects, Keats being a big one. Jan is working on getting me up to speed on tax sale procedure because it's getting to be that exciting time of year. I have been personally meeting with department heads, and I attended the department heads meeting yesterday to figure out more how I can be of use to various department heads in the county. We've also had some, say, slight developments on as far as some nuisance cases goes that we'll keep you updated on. But other than that, Mr. Hanson is still down in the wonderful state of Arkansas and is hopefully happily engaged by now. Does the commission have any questions for me? Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Michael. Suki at 9:35. Right.
Yeah.
Call into the office and give you good news or bad news either way.
He hasn't.
We didn't come back early, so that's good.
Well, I know. On the one hand, we're all glad he hasn't worked. On the other hand, no, yeah.
That's true.
For all we know, he's been taken hostage down there.
Got backed up against a fence on a wild warthog.
Right.
Or razorback or whatever the hell they call that thing.
I'm choosing to believe the best.
Okay. I must have been in the wrong part of Arkansas.
I hated Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm not. The people were really nice down there, but I was on the eastern side over by Memphis, and it's a different story for me. Yeah. Yeah.
I've only been to Fayetteville, and actually, I'm going to Fayetteville this weekend too, so Jacob and I will both get out.
That's a conspiracy. I can just see it.
Right?
I wasn't burning home.
Yeah.
Where we go, we fly either two national nights, same difference. And I'm not already going to shoot for
Yeah. No, I kind of have to feud with the state of Tennessee because I'm obviously Kentucky, so. Be down that way in a few weeks. . do something different. I spent a couple of days in Indiana. I'm going to the A-State Indiana game. And so it's gonna be, we'll check off another one of those basketball meccas. Bloomington.
Oh, I was at Indiana. Mark,
Well, traveling to back home on that
Oh, no,
Tuesday,
yeah, yeah.
so it's just perfect, yeah.
yeah.
I got a group that sends a sophomore there currently right now, and they just matched up perfect. So I'm like, let's do it. So I'll grab a hotel room that night and I'll hit the road next morning. It's about 3 hours or so back home, maybe 4. Yeah. I told them preferably not in the student section for tickets. I am gonna wear purple or lavender, sorry.
Are you flying or driving?
Driving. It's scenic, except maybe through Illinois. Everything else is okay.
These usually are. It's not.
Yeah.
A little bit wiser decision.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I've got 9 easements left.
Of course, if I was flying this week, I don't know if I'd even be able to get into Louisville, considering what happened. The airport's been closed there for 2 days. I took out the whole back half of the runway. They've got the standard commercials, and they got like commercial, there's a FedEx hub, there's a UPS hub. There's a huge Ford manufacturing plant there, so they've got a hub there that transfers stuff, and so they shut the whole airport down. And yes, part of me thinks that if this government shutdown and stuff, that probably played a role in it, maybe too, but I don't know if it was as in today.
Drove below 8 inches. He said there was a study in 92.
There's a video of, well, I guess
Dumped all this stuff.
this is Louisville in a nutshell, though. Traveling on,
I won't sign.
there's two, it used to be standard for airport international, but they've renamed it for obvious reasons, but it's kind of sandwiched in there. It's a very tight bit. So it's sandwiched in between I-64 and I-65, and there's like 3 different kind of off ramps. Gene Snyder Freeway there, and then there's the 264 bypass. So there's somebody coming off the 264 there trying to get on 65 going south, and they caught the entire thing. And part of me would say that for those in Louisville, we probably shouldn't be paying attention to, they should be paying attention to driving because they have a hard time doing that to begin with.
Texas has been there for
Yeah.
100 years or whatever. They didn't come in and drop it around the houses.
He said all on the street over there.
There's so much going on down there, kind of in just that kind of small radius. So you've got the airport, you've got Churchill Downs, you've got University of Louisville, all their athletic stuff is right there. Like Kentucky Kingdom. So you've got a whole lot of stuff going on, you know. What's
I've been free doing that. They repainted it.
Yeah. If you're down there and you're driving, actually take Dixie Highway, which is 31. It's right there at Shive. Takes you kind of on this kind of wavy thing in and around the Ohio River down there. Once you get out of the suburbs of Louisville, it's real sure guys. Yeah. My parents' house is literally just right off of it as you come into Radcliffe. There's 5 minutes from the gate, about 6 minutes from the repository. I'm gonna try to hit the patent exam while I'm there, but I doubt I'm gonna be able to do that probably due to
It's amazing when you go.
government constraints. I'm not sure. Maybe there's time between now and then. Yeah. There won't be staff. I mean, ours
It's a neat little
are shut
town.
down. Oh, ours shut down permanently. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they have community events all the time.
Meals, the last of the small town. Wednesday, I went to
to be awarded.
There's so much
It's,
fun.
it's just so, even they have them at the nursing home. And so there's a couple of people that are not that age, but that's majority is live there.
This
And it's just,
this
I
guy
think
here.
it's so
That he said,
Yeah.
What kind of tank was in there too that would be worth into?
He's
I was joking, I'm like, my Fort Riley pass has got to work on Fort Knox, right?
He said he, right, he said,
Fort Knox is a little bit more secure than Fort Riley. too.
just
Yeah.
all sorts. But if we're worried, somebody goes on this property.
If our road or visiting something not.
Yeah.
We don't, so I don't know, you know, one of the things, and you're right, okay, so somebody on the like, to decide on it is. It's kind of like, oh my, here's your opportunity, if you want to go, and maybe we'll just really need to.
It says on pre 9/11, you could get up on base, you could get, yeah, you could get, I mean, it's kind of tricky there because it's all the way kind of to the west side of the base there, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is, but there's just 3 or 4 different places. There's a huge lieutenant training station there that you couldn't get on, obviously the gold depositories. And there's an area where I don't think it's the case now, but they used to store tanks. And couldn't get there either. So outside of that, the rest of it was open.
I still was shocked about, I mean, even, there was a while there, even after that, when they kind of opened a little more, and 8-year passes and stuff, that so many people got, I should be on base, so. But it's an interesting thing how it all looks.
Yeah. And actually, the Pat Museum is, I think if I remember right, it sits just outside of the gate. So you don't actually have to use a pass to get in, but you have to have an actual ticket to get in there, which means you basically have to go to the same place to get the tickets. So, yeah.
I think that's wise to put outside, but
Yeah.
access to, so.
You still have to go into the same place you would get a pass to go on base to get the tickets to go into the museum. So.
We were watching some random TV show with my son this week. And it was, it was a story, but there was a military guy there and he said, oh, well, blah, 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 or they need a Fort Leavenworth, they need another pilot.
Yeah.
I was like, Fort Leavenworth, they go where my dad is. No, hopefully not, because there's a good place.
My aunt used to work as a desk secretary up there at the Post Museum up there for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. Got some original carriages. Abraham Lincoln was in when he was traveling around. Yeah.
This guy. Right here. Are you probably shouldn't drive?
My dad and I used to joke with her like, when you're not looking, we're gonna climb up in one of them. Yeah.
He sits in the ship.
She get all freaked out.
Really, where is that?
Right here.
There's
There's the
Yeah.
gas station. Local.
Okay,
The first thing in town, the first one that happened.
I
Yeah.
have to look, I haven't seen Wayback yet.
They have, if I remember right, they had like the small drums and the drumsticks and the drum boys with the drum. It's authentic, obviously from Civil War.
You know, it seemed when you get by.
Yeah, and I'm usually worried about slowing down at that point.
The topography of
I'll have to
Fort
watch.
Leavenworth is what's interesting because it's literally uphill from the Missouri River right there. And so it's kind of tucked in there.
It's magical.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The owners.
Yeah.
Then you put that
That's
with.
7/14.
I know are pain to live in, but they.
They are, they're sturdy.
Yeah, deal.
Yeah, they're sturdy.
We got across the street, don't say,
We does, yeah, that kind of, there, yeah.
go.
Hawkins, no. There's a couple of houses.
This guy was having accumulation.
Yeah, that's Oakland.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
But I say, it's like, this is bad as soon as place. He's been stepped out in the rough. She's right here, this house is on this lot. Has something about this house and this lot.
It's probably one of the permanent ones, so we have to. Yeah. We go across and then what you.
Yeah.
Let's go quiet. Yeah. I have read.
No, no, good. Good.
Yeah.
I was like next week.
Yeah. Yes. No, those.
This one goes down the street from the. Yeah, see.
Oh, yeah. She got elected, didn't she? Yeah.
Shit. Well, we initially had signs for everybody, running preference in the city. She's getting one of her signs out from state perspective. This was that 10 of these signs out. He's the one that's. Which is something. And also it's all that's decisions.
Oh, really?
And then there's chickens go. It's about this. Yeah, 2 dogs go. It's about this way.
Oh, that's.
There's something, it's
not just Halloween.
no, it's a Halloween, it's been there.
Just take the trouble to get.
So down, has a big scale and stand next to the front. Then I know he has filled it.
Have you ever been down, is it Dickens? Browning? Halloween, that's Halloween.
Oh, really?
And Christmas too, and she was crazy, and right off of Kimball going down, it's right after the church down the hill, we take right on Brown. Like that whole block, 2 blocks, amazing. And Christmas time, just turning stuff.
There is one thing, you ever do get with me to do the, signature.
I'm not mentioning as soon as he gets back.
Yeah. You're talking about. Damn, you get fun.
I like. In fact, I'll make a motion, you second it, we'll get it passed real quick.
I don't think that's gonna work. I don't mind signing things.
If we just give the holler on it.
When they got our signatures on file, it wouldn't take much.
And some of those things that we're signing, the other piece, it's a stamp, you can see. that-
I don't sit there and sign every single one of the checks every year I'm chairman, right? That's done by stamp. The paper checks, their name on it.
Well, it's printed, yeah.
Right. So it's already technically being done. The gears are turning, you can see that.
The most like correct answer to respond to it.
We can that's no comment.
Yes.
Thought maybe your ears were burning.
I've been in this business. You don't have to worry about that.
We've decided we don't want stamps anymore. We want to auto pin.
Signature stamps. It's this.
We want to auto pin.
You do, no.
No, we want to auto pin.
And I have heard of an audit, and I don't know what an
That's
audit.
what that's what the president would sign and everything. It's just, I don't know what exactly it's.
And you're gonna break your laptop and then get it fixed soon.
That's why you need an auto pin. That's what. So you're just backing up my theory here, so. We've already made the motion, seconded it, you can put it in the minutes.
Yeah.
You can go back to the YouTube and pick it up later. This is what happens when you leave us alone.
Could we make a motion in the county to keep the clocks the same all the time?
We can, but unfortunately, the clocks have a mind of their own. So I don't think they're gonna listen.
From all weeks ahead.
Yeah.
What you do, it seems like, or behind.
Tired of the times changing back. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, everybody complains about Arizona.
Just wish they
Keeps
fixed
the same stuff.
That's fine.
Well, I understand like 100 years ago when they used to do that, but you know, technology's kind of caught up with that now and they don't really need to do it.
Good. Morning, Commissioners. Russell Stuckey with Emergency Management Fire District #1. Have my monthly report for you. Fairly normal stuff. Obviously, as you know, we've been working with the building committee and the architects on the remodel across the street, and they've been making good headway. One thing that was brought up that we just missed, I guess, is if you look at this picture here, you know, part of what they're doing is taking this grass area out, and they took out this part of the parking lot and this drive. But the plans didn't call for replacing this part of the parking lot or driveway. And so it'll be all new concrete right up to here. And then this is old asphalt and old concrete. And so talking with John and BHS, we would like to explore doing a change order to go ahead and get this concrete replaced. And the other thing that was overlooked that we just noticed was the architect didn't put any flagpoles in front for us to fly flags. So we would like to add that in too. And so would like to entertain if the commission would be open to us bringing a change order. It would probably, from what BHS has sent and John has looked at, it'd be approximately $100,000. But if we don't, there's going to be old cracked up asphalt and concrete right in front of the brand new remodeled building with new concrete to the south of it, joining up to the old stuff.
Flagpoles aside, I mean, that's an addition. I mean, why do we? That should have been caught. That should have been part of it. Am I not right?
Yeah, I mean, we saw on the paperwork parking lot replacement, and you know what happens when you assume. We assumed it was all of it, but as you get to look at the drawings really close, it's not on the drawings.
That was, we were trying to stay within front. With the site work. And then when we. Had money that we added some back, we didn't add all back. We got it.
Dude, I'm just saying, we're gonna add $100,000 into the mixture when it should have already been there to begin with.
I agree. It should have been to begin with, and like
That's not our fault. I should have caught. Am I not right?
Yeah,
Okay,
so someone else should cover it.
that's my thought.
I don't know. who
Somebody's gotta
should
pay
cover
for
it.
it.
Somebody's got.
Yeah.
Or at least it should be divided or something at least, instead of just saying, nope, sorry, you guys are on the hook for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it shows in the drawings. We just didn't see it and didn't pick it out until now. And so if we don't do anything, it's gonna be something that we'll have to do in 5 years because the concrete and the asphalt will be completely deteriorated. And so we'll have to come back in and do it later, probably at a higher cost. So if the commission is open to that, John said he could get a change order put together and bring back to you next week.
Now, the guys doing the concrete, or who is that?
Well, BHS is our construction manager at risk, and then I think it's Vance Construction, Banco Construction, that's the subcontractor doing the concrete work.
But that's not on either one of them, would be on the architect.
No,
Well, no, I want a more depth explanation as to why that was missed. I'm not saying from you guys necessarily, but
and you know, just like anything, they're there now, the construction guys are there now doing what concrete or getting ready to pour concrete, and so it's kind of a time is of the essence thing, because if they finish that and then they leave, then it'll be more expensive to even have them come back. If we want to go ahead and do it, now's the time to do it. I mean, if we want it done right, do it right the first time type of thing, and then hash it out with the architect, that part later.
Yeah, it needs to be done, so.
So if there's a consensus of the commission, and John and I can work to get a change order to you next week, and
with the caveat, there's some explanation put behind that, and we all deserve that. Okay.
that work for you, John? So, the other thing, that I was going to point out in particular was obviously, as you know, we voted to sign the City of Riley Fire Department Consolidation Agreement, so appreciate that. I think that'll be better for everybody having, instead of having two fire stations right side by side, two fire departments right beside each other, have one fire department, less administration. You know, there was people that were on both departments, and so they had double the administration, and so I think that'll be better for everybody in the long run. So appreciate that. Early in the month, RCPD had an electrical issue. I think I mentioned it to you once already, but where dispatch was potentially going to go dark, and so we positioned the mobile command post down there, and it worked really well. And Tyler Cephas, the dispatch supervisor, was very appreciative and worked well. Some of the upgrades we've done to the command post worked well. So we have a few more to continue to do in that CIP project that you approved probably a year and a half ago or more, but we're getting it bit by bit done. Talked with Vivian, this is Carbon Monoxide Awareness Month. So as people turn on their heaters and alternate heating devices and or have power outages and use a backup or a portable generator, just reminders, and Vivian's going to work with some public education and social media posts on reminder to, if you're using a backup or not a backup generator, a portable generator, to make sure it's outside, well ventilated, not getting the CO in the house, having your appliances checked, your gas appliances obviously in particular, to make sure they're burning properly and have the proper flame and everything, so that they're not putting CO into your house.
And don't fry your damn turkeys inside the house for Thanksgiving.
Right. Yep.
There's plenty of them on YouTube and TikTok. Trust me.
And then the other thing, we have Station 110 and University Park is done. The only thing left, the dirt work's done. The only thing left to do is maybe some seeding, whether that we do any now or do it later. So I believe the commission indicated you guys would like, and gals would like to do a ribbon cutting sometime. So we'll work with Vivian to get a time and date kind of scheduled for that, that works best for commissioners, and go up there and celebrate that project being done.
Cool. You're responsible for the weather that day.
Yeah, no kidding.
If I remember correctly, when we opened up the one over in Ogden, it was early December, so weather was a little chilly, but it wasn't unbearable.
Yep. So I'll work with Vivian to get that scheduled. And then, any questions on, staff update? Then the other thing I have, before you is the equipment committee's been working, a lot on, what equipment's priority to replace in our UTVs, which are all hand-me-downs from the Forestry Service. They deem that's the next highest priority. So you can see in the pictures that I put in the packet, I assume you got those. What we have now and what we're looking to go to, these units. So we get down to. So these are what we'd be replacing. And this is what our neighbors over in Pot County are using, and they've had really good luck with them. They were looking at getting them they come with the tires, but adding it in the tracks. And that would help us a lot on the really steep terrain, a lot more stability. And then especially up in the north end of the lake where we have all the big fires and all the silt, where the wheeled vehicles just do not operate very well. And so they would come with the wheels too. And so like for other events, like whatever it might be, a parade or a fair or a country stampede or whatever like that, we could put national night out. We could put the wheels and tires back on, bolt them on, bolt them off basically. And so that's what we're looking to go with. They are on state contract and we have the money in our budget, and that's what we would like to proceed with if the commission approves.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve the purchase authorization for 3 John Deere Gator 845M UTVs in the amount of $91,928.13 to be funded by the Raleigh County Fire District Number 1.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the purchase authorization for 3 John Deere Gator UTV, now $91,920. Funded by Raleigh County Fire District. Favor. All three.
Any other questions for me, commissioners? Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Someone to ride them.
I was thinking the same thing.
When you get the door.
We having a time for a groundbreaking?
I actually did have 3 of them.
No, not 3 of them. We'll take turns. That's true.
Right?
Oh, we did? Will we get them all at the same time?
Yeah, I think that could be cool.
I'll get with K-State and see if we can use the parking lot.
I got a big car.
Yeah, we can go tear up that concrete.
Yeah,
We got plenty of ground on the work.
that's true.
Excuse me?
A lot of stuff today.
Yes. Based on us.
I knew. Gotta remember, we're gonna have a lot of days off in November and December.
I just hope they don't close the airports. Just-
Well, I just hope they
They need to get this over.
they figure out that they're adults and they have a duty and responsibility and just
Get back.
start getting stuff done.
Yeah, get back to work and work it out, you know?
That's the thing that I think of is all the trickle down to, you know, the babysitters that aren't getting paid. You know, the people don't think about it. All that.
But think about, I mean, even think about, I mean, because this actually happened. I mean, think about all the commerce that's lost in DC. All the revenue, sales tax revenue, all the businesses that, you know, that's right. Well, true.
There's people, we have one of our staff whose husband's working and not getting paid.
Right.
Because he's essential.
Everybody over at, in Bath, they're not work. We're not getting paid.
Didn't think of that, so I gotta have you this one.
Yeah, how many people are in the
I
fight?
got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Just started a new business.
My neighbor's husband was one of their supervisors over there. He says everybody's really, you know, man, they don't
You don't
want
think about all the trickle down to all the other things that impact.
to.
And we're just a month in, a little over a month.
Longest one in history though. Yeah.
But John, to your point, the frustrating part is all of these people are essential and they have to go to work and not get paid. The people who can solve the problem are not at work.
And they're getting paid.
It's me.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be there hammering this out 7 days a week.
Yeah, they should be. Get it worked out, you know, it's not one side or another, it's just.
Right. Normal how everything is done in the United States every day. We have conflicts and we have to solve.
No, we've put laws into place to cover that so it does happen, except for one instance. And you're seeing the repercussions of that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter.
We have a whole generation that doesn't understand that Congress used to pass a balanced budget.
Yeah. And now this is normal.
Right.
Mhm.
That's
That's really scary.
That's
Yeah.
just serious.
I know.
Just paper. I don't even know if it's an ideal.
You didn't, yeah, but I wasn't saying anything negative for a change against your generation. It's not your fault, but
Ready, Commissioners?
yes.
It's a darn kids. Yeah.
Okay, good morning, Commissioners. Elizabeth Ward, Human Resources Director, here with the monthly Human Resources update. And, just these are the things that we're trying to work on to support Riley County's initiatives, people, policy, and process. So starting with our numbers, our numbers are a little bit higher and both sides actually. And so, just kind of saying where we are in 291. October, as you guys noticed, as you signed your EAFs, we had a higher count in October. And a lot of those were we were working on the previous month and maybe had been posted, but they just came to fruition in October. And then separations was one. So, net gain. Throughout the year, we're looking at 50 hires through the year and 41 separations. So still a net gain, but obviously not as high comparison throughout the year. Turnover rate is something I wanted to mention to you guys. We recently had a conversation I was listened to at the department head level asking about turnover and kind of questioning like where we are compared to other municipalities and in our region. And so I did not have time between then and now to really do a deep dive into that, but I want to do that. I want to look at it is going up. We can see that. And where are all our competition? Where are other people at? Is everybody going up or are we doing something differently or?
I guess my first question on that is are you adding everybody that's coming and going?
So,
or is it just full time? I mean,
that's a really good question.
Part-time, does it include stipend? Does it include volunteers?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to exclude that and just narrow it down to just full time.
So right now it includes everyone except retirees.
Okay.
It doesn't include our volunteer firefighters and election workers because we classify those. That's why we've got that separate column there. But it does include all of like this, it would be seasonal or our as needed, part-time, kind of those things as well.
Yeah, because the museums in particular, we give every week we get one either coming or going.
Yeah, I like the intern level or the part-time level. Yeah.
Well, I think we really need to define that kind of full-time, part-time scope within kind of the admin and operations and narrow it down to that, because that's been misleading.
Yeah. Well, and I think the biggest way we can use is if we find that place that you want to be and then consistent using that same so that we can actually see if it's going up or down or where we're at. So I guess my recommendation with that would be to move to all regular employees. So that would include regular part-time who are here with a schedule and benefit eligible, as well as regular full-time.
I would agree.
Is that appropriate? Which does not include, sometimes we say the word part-time, but our as needed are the $15 an hour, up to 1,000 hours, non-benefits, which is different than maybe a 30-hour a week job with benefits.
Yeah.
We expect more stability. So if you want to do that, I will move to that. I'll mark it on here so we are all tracking that when we talk about it. But also I did get back from a couple counties. I just wanted to kind of put it out there. In the beginning, there were some higher rates actually, but there were also some that had lower rates. And the other part I want to look at with that is how many openings we have at a time. So turnover is important, how many people we have, how often we have them coming and going. But one of the things I know we're ahead on is we can fill positions usually, I'm going to talk about this number here is not great in October either, much quicker, and we don't have as many positions open as other entities that I've compared us to. So, we are in that low percentage. So somewhere we're doing something right that's drawing people. And then potentially, I want to see where we are with keeping them. So in our average tenure, that it did take out the as needed and commissioners themselves, whether that we should or shouldn't, but that's what that number is reflecting. Okay. So just kind of a quick recap of what we're working on for performance development. We've got the highly effective managers program. We had the October class. I've already gotten really positive feedback about the book, the instructor, and kind of just even their first chapter. So I think that's been going well. Then we're working on that certified public manager. Greg talked about that and brought it up at the last intergovernmental. And I think, John, you had an opportunity to send it. I think we sent it in an email to another. So we're trying to get that out to other community partners. We actually have some partners like in RCPD and other areas who've taken it, so they are aware of the value and maybe push some people up to that level. And then you guys are tracking the MATC regional certification. So my next move there is to get Public Works at the table, and don't have anything scheduled yet, but we've been talking about dates. So. And then everyone's favorite topic, performance evaluations. I know you all love them as much as the department heads and every employee. So I'm looking at John's face. So actually, that was a conversation we just had yesterday. So it did not make my agenda, but the department head specific evaluation, it was a big topic of conversation with the department heads. And I don't know, Michael, where that landed. We asked to maybe have that next meeting.
We did, two commissioners are on the.
Oh, is it law board? Yeah.
Board meeting.
So I guess what my next recommendation would be is have some of the department heads wanted to come and speak to you and just say, hey, this is our ideas with department head evaluations. So if
I'm open to that.
yeah,
We've changed them, but it's still.
Yeah.
cumbersome.
Yeah, we're not getting what we want or what we need from him. And so.
When you say we, is it?
I mean, both you and the department heads. Like I'm getting technically what I need because I know whether you're giving them a merit increase or not, just the
That's
basic.
the only point to it. And then, in my opinion is that if there's nothing wrong, then they've already earned the merit. And why are we wasting our time with it? We should move on. I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but we should be focused on other things, other maybe more valuable things in the moment.
So that's why I would love to have them come speak to you, because what I'm hearing from them is that they want really solid feedback and direction from you. This is an opportunity where they can speak to you about what they're doing in an executive session where all three of you can actually, give them direction. And also, we're not nailing it. So
What?
we're not getting that. We're not getting it. It's frustrating for you guys. It's,
You said
We're done.
have an executive session, see one of them.
well, it's kind of what we've been trying to do with the evaluation so that you could have this time where you could talk back and forth. But what I'd like to do, what I really would like your permission to do is have the group that was kind of nominated as the speakers from the department head meeting come and talk to you. We wanted to do that at the luncheon, but we're not going to be able to do that. So can we just schedule a time and they come and tell you what it is they want and see where.
We could have a luncheon at any time.
Well, I mean, that's the other.
Upcoming, I think it's gonna be more difficult than you think. Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. We could reschedule lunch into a different day than Monday.
Doesn't have to be on that day.
Look at the rest of the month with the holiday, with intergovernmental, with two holidays. And then
Tuesday.
trying to get it done before the end of the year.
Well, it's because I guess that's the other option. I can work with Michael and Rich on calendars and find a day where they can actually just all sit down at lunch with you, with like our normal luncheons, and then you could have an open dialogue. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be available.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna be available between now and the end of the year with work. I'm sorry. I gotta try to find some time to actually get some hours in. That's where we're at.
Okay.
But yeah, you can just have however many of them come in.
Yeah.
See what they're wanting. And
Even agenda.
Yes.
if we're kind of short on time, if we can do enough evaluations to say, yes, they do merit, but if they want to have, but also we see them all the time, you know, got problems, we ask them, you know, if I see a problem, I'm not going to wait till the end of the year to talk about it.
They had the same perspective. They want that same thing from you. The only difference between that and like an annual evaluation is is it, you know, the whole department, is the whole department going where you want it to go?
Yeah.
Am I like meeting ongoing goals? Like if you see a problem, certainly I think all of you go and, you know, investigate or talk to the person.
And it's not even a problem, usually it's a question.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something that you need more information on.
Yeah.
I'll say this openly, and I've said it before. I mean, it's kind of hard for each one of us to evaluate each department head because we're not that specific department. Like I'm not a health department
Yeah.
director, so it's hard for you to say, well, you're doing this right, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong. Health isn't my background.
Well, and maybe that's the thing.
I mean,
Which maybe we're not asking,
when we're
there's so many
discussing
maybes.
policy and other things, obviously we have to work together, but this isn't just about that. This is about how everything operates on a daily basis. And
Well, it shouldn't be, right? That's maybe the biggest problem we have, maybe. I mean, there could be multiple things, but it should be on like, as commissioners, what do you want the health department to accomplish? What direction are we moving? What do you want Public Works? Stay perfect the way we are, keep on course, or, you know, you want to, like I've heard you guys say, for example, the health department, you want to get more into the smaller communities. You know, that's a good direction. And I think she's gotten that. So that's, you know, that's just an example, but it shouldn't, they agree. You don't know what they do day to day. If there were a problem in the way they manage staff, you would know, or the way that they manage budget or projects.
Well, yeah, they would have come and tell us this is what we're looking for, then.
But
Yeah.
in this particular case too, that's not what you're needing to be able to move the needle forward in terms of pay raises.
Yeah, but that can be pretty simple.
Promotions, those type of things. What are we trying to intertwine and streamline it and simplify it so it's just one quick.
Yeah, and maybe it has to be separated so we get, I don't know. But the other thing, Vivian had an interesting suggestion of, you know, we do try to crunch them all in 6 weeks, which is the, you know, standard evaluation timeline. But some folks, especially at executive level, do them on an anniversary date. So you wouldn't have 11 in 6 weeks. You would say, okay, well, we know we're going to talk in March and April, or we could do one a month, or we could do something different and we change the format. I mean, we don't have to do it any way that doesn't work. I would need, in that circumstance, I would need from you, you know, yes, meets expectations, doesn't meet expectations, so we can do the pay.
That would be it.
Just face value
Yeah.
in the year, but the other ones, like, yeah, it might be,
Anniversary, you get the evaluation at least one.
yeah. Well,
I'm not bothered by that. And I understand Elizabeth's perspective that you have to have something in writing from us saying,
Yeah.
justifying, you know, movement, you know, in terms of a pay raise, a merit or a potential promotion.
Yes, we need that, but that's really transactional, right? It's super important, but it's transactional. It sounds like to me what they want from you is guidance on I know day to day I'm keeping up with my duties, but am I also meeting like where we want to go as Riley County? Am I meeting your expectations or is my department meeting your expectation, you know?
Then that sounds like to me that's where each one of us need to meet with them separately at some point in time and have that individual dialogue. We all may think differently in different departments, and that's perfectly fine, but
we tell them something different.
That would be my,
That-
that'd be my devil's advocate
that one
point.
thing, like say, we have an executive session, but with each one.
Yeah.
But instead of having them all,
Mhm.
especially, because like say the next 6 weeks, we're missing a lot of meetings.
Yeah, well, and also we could say, like, it could be no questions or it could be 2 questions. What do you want from my department? Am I doing what you want from my department? Where would you see it in 5 years? It could be more on them achieving what commissioners are envisioning.
On one hand, yeah, I'm doing it every month, but that's easier to do, just
One,
concentrate one, just trying to evaluate them all and.
and we could set a standing day.
Anniversary date thing there too. And that's all right if we're doing one a month or 2 a
They
month or
step
something.
out,
Yeah.
so it's.
I've had a problem outside of this agency when I'm on different boards and we have to evaluate people and we just hired them. And because you have that structure in place, we have to do it like after the 4-month period or 6-month. Like, they have not been here long enough to be able to say that they're doing a good job or a bad job. And once again, it comes down to the same thing. I don't really know what they're actually doing is.
Yeah, and that's not your job to know what they do in
So,
minute to minute.
you know,
Yeah,
it would be better to give them that time and float that time in there for a full year and see what, expectations and stuff will change too. And,
Well,
that
and
might be a better way to do it.
we have those same processes you're talking about, but you all have the opportunity to change the way we do it to make it more effective. So.
Done it several times already.
Yeah, and that was my point at the meeting. We've tried to redo it. The last 3 years, we've had 3 different forms really. So we got to just reinvent this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will get them, I mean, they're basically ready to speak now, so I'll get them on the next available meeting, hopefully Monday. And we don't have to do anything this way, like as this mentoring and visions part, we don't have to do that before the end of the year. We can, if you decide to go that way,
You just have, just one paragraph bit of it and what they making it or not.
yeah. Yes, exactly, for the merits for the end of the year.
For your purpose.
Absolutely, yeah,
And then starting in 2026, we can go through the.
absolutely. Absolutely. We can do a lot. And I mean, that's the thing we need to think about. What works for Riley County? And so that they get what they need and you guys get to be able to have that time. Okay, so we'll do that. Thank you. Otherwise, everyone else is working on their performance evaluation. So every non-department head is working on their self. We had an internal suggested deadline. I don't know what you want to say, but like a guiding deadline of November 7th. So that's tomorrow for the self-evaluation portion. But the true deadline is that December 5th for the entire packet to be done. So that means self-eval, supervisor eval, and that sit-down meeting with either the supervisor or department head. That depends on every department. Most departments have the department head either review or actually do the evaluation, but it's department to department of how they want that set up. So that, I've had a lot of people working on it. It does seem to be going well. We had one glitch with like setting up goals, but I think we've figured that out. I just need to get that out. Lori helped me this morning and Vivian yesterday. So I think we've got that set up. This is also just kind of what I was saying, like looking at turnover rate. So these are our areas, and it's a little bit, you've got to take it in perspective, right? Because juvenile services has, very minimal staff. And so you lose one person and that's 50% of your staff. But also it is interesting to see like our county general is down lower than our total. And so we can break this down even further by department.
Well, I think
Mhm.
in order to truly understand the value of that number, you need, to do that.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to make it criminal, right? I'm not trying to say, okay, well, this department, you're the issue, and because we just need to figure out, well, juvenile services make sense. They don't always have high turnover. Right now they do. They've also got those as needed positions, which are included in this. But, would the clerk's office with high turnover, would that make sense? And what are we doing? And so what can we do differently? And do we have the jobs right? And do we have the workload right? And all the things. So then that you can see, this is the other issue I took note of for October is 32 days. And so I looked a little bit into that. I think that's too long to fill a position, except the position that really took the longest, there's 2 positions that really offset us. So the counselor position took 52 days, and that's an executive level position. And I'm not sure that that's extensive. And to remember, it actually goes to the day he starts. So we had the position filled and we had a signed offer letter. Was it 3 weeks prior to your start?
Sure.
But again, that's one of those, we have two people and then high qualifications. So, and then the other position that took a long time is the juvenile intake also kind of a difficult position to fill. That's not the as needed positions, that's the full-time position. And it just takes a unique person that wants to be able to work in that area and has that right skill set.
But, I mean, there's a couple of things, just looking at this that's kind of candid. I mean, okay, 32 days, but look at how many applications. Look at how much time it takes to review those applications and then realize you're only getting 9 interviews out of that. And there's a story
Really good
told
point.
with that.
It's a really good point. HR assistant, for example, we have over 115 applications. We scheduled 6 interviews, 3 came, and the rest don't have they don't have office, they don't have filing, they don't have customer service. They have, like Subway sandwich artist or retail.
Yeah, those are Indeed, we're just linking up just job descriptions.
Well, the thing is, some of them might be great in the position. They might have that, personality or ability, but we can't tell that from their past work. And so we just can't interview. And out of those 3, we made an offer. That person fell through. Now we've got, I think, 3 or 4 more interviews set up, and we'll see. But we're having that is like an entry level office customer service position. And we've got the applications, but we do not have a hire. So I think you're seeing some of that stuff. Yeah.
And I think the time to fill those, some of that, if we get a couple of weeks notice when someone's leaving, if someone I'm gone tomorrow, then you got to advertise and take,
Absolutely. And we've had some positions exactly like that. Yeah.
They said, I'm going, and so you're starting from scratch, takes a little longer time.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too is we kind of have a mentality here as part of our culture is it's quality over quantity.
Do.
So if it takes longer to find the right person and the right fit, then obviously that number is going to be not artificially high. It should just be high.
Yes.
In order to accomplish that. And in the long term, that stability should make up the difference on the back end, and hopefully then your turnover
Right.
down. And
Right. It's all part of the package, right?
Exactly.
And we've talked, you're absolutely right. All of the supervisors have this, and I've preached it to them and they've heard it come from you. Don't just fill the position. It's better to go without than have a poor hire. If this person doesn't have what it takes or doesn't fit with your office, doesn't have the customer service, it's better to just wait.
Right.
So, I don't think that's something you all want to change, but we have to know it has an effect. So, yeah, and otherwise, these are kind of just the things that you always look at. Just a quick update. We did talk more about the travel and study policy. I will have those edits that you requested to you in November. And nothing else from that. And then we're just updating like the official pay scales on the W drive that you've already approved, looking at processing merit increases, performance tracking. And we're already starting that budget look ahead for the grants because some of those grants are due January and then March. So she's already sent out her portion. We have not sent out the personnel portion yet because we try to wait to the very last minute to look at CPI. So we can give a projection of potential COLA. I do want to let you know, I let the department heads know that with the shutdown, there was no CPI published in October. If we don't come back online soon, there may not be one published in November. And I don't know what they will do, but someone out of Washington stated that October just would not be created. They just would not be publishing it even after they came back. I don't know if that's accurate. So Brittany and I were brainstorming and what we were thinking of doing, if that happens to be the case, that we don't have October or we can't get November. There's seasonality in that. And so instead of doing leaving a blank or doing 9 months, we thought we would do September of 24 to September of 25 so that we've got the fall and I'm not talking to you about the final budget to bring to you, but for our projections for grants. Yeah. We're going to have to project something.
Eventually they're going to have a month where they do it. And you can just backtrack and just do it by average, couldn't you?
Yes. So we could do an average of all the months that we have.
Right.
But then we were afraid to get off summer.
It stopped in September. You won't have October and November. And let's say they do January.
Oh, I see.
January's number and just do an average of what you thought October and November would be.
We definitely could. We might not be able to do that for the grants because we have to project, but it's always a projection.
Yeah.
Because even in normal years when the government's functioning, we don't get that annualized rate till February.
Right.
It just takes that long to get it. So unless you have a concern about that for projections, that's how we'll handle CPI.
Choice.
All right. Anything else that you all need from me? I appreciate very much the dialogue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. John Ellerman, Public Works. And we're looking at the Commission Chambers remodel. If we want to call it remodel update,
I'm calling it modernization.
modernization. No, I don't want nothing to do with modernization anymore. The elevators have been something else.
Well, you got more than one company that can do ours, so you're okay there.
So, we're here, we've been waiting kind of for BHS, kind of give us their scope, or they're not their scope, but their estimate on cost and what their portion of remodel or updating the commission chambers would be. We've got some numbers from the Design Central for furniture and carpet. We've chose their carpet to do the rooms with too. So we've got those put together. All three, that and the IT, ready systems to put your tech projections and stuff together. All three of those come up to about $185,218. If you remember, I requested 250 in the CIP to do that. So we got a little bit of room in there.
Plus, we're gonna sell off all the artwork that was in there. That'll make
Yeah,
up some of the difference.
It's off the wall anyway.
Not mine, that's your steak and lobster.
But I think Catherine wants to give it back after she's stored it when we're finished. So I don't know where we'll put that stuff. Any suggestions? We can work on that in the next few months. So
Yeah.
what you have in front of you
She's
is,
starting to do some, I was up there last night getting some stuff out of the office, so they already starting to do some work? Or is that just part of the windows?
that's still part of the windows.
Because I noticed they were taking some stuff out of the ceiling.
I think they're preparing for this and hoping that you're going to say yes.
Okay.
Is my guess. Well, so now we need you to say yes today so you can start them on Monday.
Okay. Okay.
I miss him every time I've gone over there the last few times. So
I noticed a few things in my office too, and I thought, I'm not bothered by it. And I've got a secondary question here we'll get to when.
So what you have in front of, there's three different agreements for the three different sections of the project, BHS, the Design Central, and Ready Systems. I'd ask that you approve the chair to sign them, or you can appoint somebody, me or somebody else to sign those two if you want, how you want to do that. They are big enough where department head can't approve them on his own. So, yeah. So that's where we're at on that. If you're ready to go, they're ready to go, and it's about windows finishing up and ready to clear that room out so they can start working in it.
My only question is there a timeline on this?
I did not get one. I'm hoping that we have it. We kind of,
Remember, right, Corey said it was gonna be about 10 weeks on the furniture. I don't know if that's right.
we still may be that way on the furniture. Hopefully carpet's not going to take much more than that either. My goal was to get in here before February, before the time that the windows were supposed to take.
And that's what, we weren't really expecting the windows to be done until February originally, so when they get it all done, within that time period. It's
Right, yeah.
And that's kind of what I was. That's kind of what I was thinking.
This is one heading on building, but yeah, we've got the carpet in here is $8 a square foot. And that doesn't include moving the furniture, doesn't include moving the existing stuff. Seems plenty. Seems higher. The carpet, he sold us on what he's selling us is a little higher quality carpet than what we've been using before. It should work right. These are, I don't know if it's going to be much different, but that's what he said, that the fibers and stuff in it are a little higher quality than what we have been using from Carpet Plus or what we've been getting before.
Just on the renovation, they're doing a ceiling tile all new,
All new ceiling tiles will paint the grid, but new tile.
and new tile in the restroom as well, and all the other small offices, because.
The offices, but not the restroom. We didn't go in there.
Should do the rest.
That whole section should look renovated to me, but it's your,
Bathrooms.
I mean, public's gonna be.
I put-
More, they're gonna be in our offices more than likely.
it just looks. It's kind of like not doing the concrete in front of the EMS,
Right.
you just done all new and you got one section.
What, the lighting in the women's bathroom is like on and off. Just, you turn it on, one side goes on, and then the other one doesn't, it's just like strange. But, yeah.
I mean, we
think-
did set a $250,000 budget. I think these upgrades should get us
Yeah,
within that range still.
If you're okay with that, we'll proceed and tell them, ask them to do that. And we'll just be adding a change order or so to this project, if, as long as you realize that, or you can, this is what we asked them to do. And now we're adding to that, that'll be change orders.
there's
And then you can change orders later on specifically, because to me.
Or you can wait on bringing the final contract and we can just go through business meeting, couldn't we?
they're ready to get started.
Yeah, true.
But this is, this isn't a separate contract, we're just adding a change order to the project, is that?
No, this would be separate. I want to separated this from the window.
Talk about a change.
Well, VHS work is the ceiling and the lighting. And painting. So any of those type of changes will be done through a change order through VHS's agreement.
Right, but what I'm saying is we haven't actually signed an
true.
agreement yet, so you could add this to the current agreement without a change order. Bring it back.
Can.
We're talking about 2 bathrooms and custodian deal, or like all the way to the lobby.
No, just within your chambers.
Within the door.
Should
Way
be that.
Yeah, it wasn't changing in the floors and the bathrooms either.
Whatever way is the quickest way. If you need to do it by change order, that's fine, but.
And then, I mean, if we sign this today legally, they start Monday.
Okay.
Without
Start on
that,
Monday.
then they
We'll figure
don't,
it out.
they may or may not be able to start on Monday. But at least it tells us too, we can get furniture and carpets that
Yeah.
things ordered,
Okay.
which is that other Design Central agreement.
I looked over, outside of maybe the carpet, I looked over it and. It's actually kind of impressed with the price, to be honest with you. Like,
That carpet price kind of lines up with what we put in the courtroom a year ago and the treasurer's office a year ago. There was about 20,000 for them. And this is at 24 something thousand.
our space isn't quite as large as courthouse, is it?
The just one courtroom.
Okay. Is that Judge Bosch's?
I think so. And this will they're taking some of the lights out and replace them with different style lights. Some of the lights that are next door in the EMS station, and the fans in the room will be similar to what's in the EMS station. A solid white.
Okay.
Kind of
It's good for some bad, I guess. But I do agree with Rich, if you're gonna do it, do it right, not piecemeal it together. We got one opportunity to do this and we decided to do it because we're doing the windows and it was the right time to do it. So since in piecemealing it, just get it done.
This area that significantly touched something RCPD was in there prior to Commissioner going in. Yeah, those bathrooms, that old executive session commission room, that other office. They would all open that door back and.
But yeah, that
If it
room.
was me, I'd consider flooring, but you guys had to decide that this is one time that you're gonna do it. If you do the flooring at a later date, then you're gonna scrap it, you're gonna office and everything else.
I thought we had carpeting throughout, or not, it's just a change.
Bathrooms.
What bathrooms you
The bathrooms,
Wood.
the bathrooms were in that little kitchenette
The,
table storage area wasn't gonna be touched at all.
I'm not so much worried about the storage area there, but,
that executive or the,
Yeah,
with the servants
But I
on it.
mean, you see.
That room's being-
Doorway and one kitchenette. area.
yeah, that part's fine, yeah.
Even think that would want to look new.
I don't think you necessarily need to tile the storage area is what I was saying. You got a door, you can close that, but get everything else that's within vision. That's the bathroom, the closet, the old executive offices, our offices. I call it the
That whole
area. Yeah.
But really ought to do it. It's, we leave it, they'll sit for another 20 years and nobody will do it.
And it'll be
It'll be worse.
50% more than to do.
But we gotta do it right.
But they'll blame.
Well, Well, you don't even know if you'll be in there in the next 10, 15 years either.
They'll blame us for not doing it.
That's it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
we'll put some more ads to it, but if you're okay with going with what we got and
Adding a change order.
change order to those out.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to approve the total estimate of 185,218.26 for the commission chamber remodel.
One second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the total estimate of $185,218.26 for the commission chamber. In favor?
So Greg, when you signed the one from Design Central, you signed the front page and the back page. You know.
There's another. Here is the back page.
Just,
Do you want me to scroll down and do that? Okay.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, ready system. I got that one back there. That's last bit. That's it. Yeah. Any question? Need a motion?
Oh, correct. I'll go and make a motion that we recess as the Board of County Commission and convene as the Board of County Health.
One second that.
Been moved and seconded to recess as the Board of County Commission and convene as the Board of Health. All in favor? Aye.
Hi, good morning, Commissioners. I'm Breva Spencer, the Maternal and Child Health Supervisor, and Kaylin Spethwick Supervisor. I'm here today first to talk about our pop-up community baby shower in Ogden on Tuesday, December 2nd from 4 to 6 p.m. It will be at the Ogden Community Center. And it's designed similarly to our community baby shower that we host in June, just trying to ensure that the community has information on safe sleep and to provide safe sleep essentials for those who may need them. Per the updated purchase card manual, I am here to request that we can purchase food and beverages for the event on my county issued purchase card. And then we also have funds for the event that were donated by United Health. So there's no fiscal impact as far as county or grant funds or anything like that, other than what the United Healthcare gave us. So I recommend that the Board of County Commissioners approve the purchase of food and beverages for the pop-up community baby shower. on December 2nd.
Good to me. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of food and beverage for the pop-up community baby shower on December 2nd at the Ogden Community Center.
I would second that.
Been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of food and beverage for the pop-up community baby shower on December 2nd in Ogden, funded through the donation by United Healthcare. All in favor? Aye.
All right. Secondly, I'm here today because the Maternal Child Health and WIC are partnering with Hy-Vee to support the health and nutritional well-being of our local families due to the government shutdown and the discontinuation of SNAP benefits. We kind of came together in hopes to maybe do a little something for our clientele. And so we came up with the idea to provide a Thanksgiving meal to active and eligible WIC and MCH clients with infants aged 0 to 12 months, residing in Manhattan city limits, Riley, Randolph, and Ogden. We pulled the caseloads, and there are no current infants enrolled in either of our programs who reside in Leonardville. So like I said, we spoke to Hy-Vee, and they are willing to, he's been very open and awesome as far as making sure we're going to have what we need when we need it, and kind of leaving it up to us to decide the best way to disseminate it, and as well as kind of what that food package looks like. We're also going to keep in mind accessibility for our families. So if they have a microwave, an oven, those kinds of things, we're going to try to make it as easy as possible for them, keeping all of those factors in mind. And so the estimated cost for the meal packages is around $17,000, and that's based on current food prices. And if everyone that's on our caseloads would participate, we will have some sort of sign up, a way that they sign up, so we kind of have a better idea of exactly how many there will be. And then all expenditures will remain within the approved program budget lines and comply with federal and state spending guidelines. So we have MCH and OPI program has allocated allocations designated for client support and outreach. And so we were planning to use those funds.
It's just hypothetically saying, and I'm trying to be optimistic here. When if Congress gets off their ass and actually gets a bill in place before Thanksgiving, anything be reimbursable at that time?
Not to my knowledge, no. No, these are just MCH OPI allocations that you have already approved. And as you know, some of my funding has changed due to staff vacancies and that kind of thing. So with Aaron and Brittany, we kind of moved some line items around so that we're able to do that. And it's kind of just something we're wanting to do because we know regardless of if the shutdown ends, they've still been impacted, and probably most likely this could be something that could help families that we serve.
Okay. Yeah, I know Hy-Vee's doing all kinds of stuff. They got a $3 meal thing going on. Yeah. Adults too.
Brittany Phillips, Budget and Finance Officer. To your point, Commissioner Ford, if they, do approve a bill, I think it's still going to take a while for funding to get out and do those things.
Well, I was just talking on the SNAP side. I guess bill is the wrong thing. I don't know what's going on with that. It's supposed to be funded. I was supposed to be partially funded. Now it's not going to be funded at all, but I was just talking that portion of it.
Yes, and I think that would still even take a while to get out to families, because they did talk about, even if it was partially funded, how long it could take to get that funding back out to families and distribute it, because you still have to have people process all of those things, right? And then distribute them across millions, right? That's a lot of families. And so I think this is a huge impact for our community, and I'm really glad to see that we're proposing it, because this could, regardless what happens, this is the reality for people right now, and they're not able to pay their bills and stuff like that. So, this would be very effective.
I mean, we can only do a small piece, but we were hoping this would hopefully help, that clientele. I was on a webinar a couple days ago, and they were talking about when, this amount that's coming out. And really it's 50%. So even if you get full SNAP benefits, you're only getting, those who receive full SNAP benefits will get 50%. And if you receive anything less than full benefits, then you get a percentage of that. So say you have, 30% SNAP benefits, you may only receive like 5 to 10% with this additional funding that they're opening up. So it's still going to be very impactful to our clients and the community.
And SNAP benefits, you go to support just basic food items. It doesn't necessarily cover their traditional Thanksgiving meal either. So this, yeah.
Great point.
How do you propose getting out all these meals?
Yeah, so we're in the planning stages. With my staff are looking at me like I have lost my mind sometimes, but that's what I do. I like to think outside the box.
We've got people around here that know how to do that.
Exactly, yes. So we're proposing that they'll sign up, and then Hy-Vee has offered to allow us to use potentially their conference room so that we can actually have a touch point with these families and disseminate them on site kind of at Hy-Vee.
So they would come to Hy-Vee.
And if there's an issue with transportation or some sort of, barrier to that, we would be willing to make sure we get that to them, whether that's staff dropping it off or maybe a different
If I'm
location.
not mistaken, ATA has a drop off right at the wall.
Yes.
Right there. It's a little bit of
They
a
do.
walk into the building.
Yes.
It's a drop off right there. So
Yeah. So because they're kind of our internal clients, we can always work with our staff internally to make sure we can get those to them if they have transportation barriers.
Well, if you need some help, I'll be around.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very
I'll
helpful.
put an SUV, we can throw.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Well, thank you. So. Any other questions or?
we had. A facilities place downtown that would be applicable, but right now everything's under construction.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll do some brainstorming and we'll, make sure we're getting it to everyone who needs that and signs up within our target population. So.
Okay.
So I recommend the Board of County Commissioners approve the use of existing budgeted MCH program funds to purchase Thanksgiving meals for approximately 275 WIC MCH clients with infants that fall between 0 and 12 months that reside in Manhattan, City of Manhattan, Riley, Randolph, and Ogden.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the use of existing
I know it, right?
MCH programs funds to purchase Thanksgiving meals for approximately 275 WIC MCH clients with infants residing in Manhattan, Riley, Randolph, and Ogden. All in favor?
Aye.
Try to shorten that up next time for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for putting this together.
No, it's creative. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to recess as the Board of Health and reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners.
Well, second.
Been moved and seconded to recess and Board of Health and reconvene as the Board of County Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. I guess we got no unofficial business this week. Huh?
You're not on my invite.
I don't have anything else myself, so. I have a feeling I'm gonna be turning on the heat this weekend.
Yeah, it's cold in here with all this glass.
Anywhere from 6 to 16 for wind chill Sunday morning.
How
Really?
much?
That's what I'm hearing.
I'll be
16?
I'll be in a tree stand. So.
Oh, you'll be perfectly fine then. Yeah,
You have to get up and get some burgers.
that's something I need to do. I need to get some deer roast or loins or something to make some jerky. Done that for a while.
Okay, well, I would make a motion to reset. Adjourn. I make a motion to adjourn the November 6th meeting of the Raleigh Commissioners.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the November 6th meeting, of the Raleigh County Commission. All in favor?
Aye.